Welcome to NASDAQ Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Therese Tucker. She is the founder and CEO of Blackline, and we're going to take a look at enabling the cloud to drive more full-scale AI implementation. Therese, welcome to Market Site. Thank you for joining us. Now, tell us about Blackline and how the cloud space has evolved since the company was founded in 2001.
Well, Blackline is actually a software as a service company that helps companies automate and centralize various accounting processes. And initially we built software that was essentially sold on-prem, the old style way of doing it. But almost immediately we had demand for companies that didn't want to maintain complicated IT infrastructure, and they asked us if we could do the hosting. At the end of 2007, we actually made the decision to not sell on-prem software anymore. And since then, we've been a software as a service only company. That's been really interesting because getting big companies to put their financial data in the cloud back in 2007 was really quite a process to get people to buy into that approach.
All right, so a modern finance organization, what is that and what kind of clients does Blackline have?
We started by addressing customers that were generally large, multinational, foreign exchange issues, many different ERPs. I think we've got something like more than 54% of the Fortune 100, but we also serve companies of virtually all sizes. Now, a modern finance organization, what most people don't understand is so much of what's done right now in accounting is incredibly manual. It's essentially the same process repeated every single month, just on different data. So a modern finance organization allows companies to actually take the data in as it becomes available, which nowadays is almost in real time, and process it, and rather than doing that processing manually, allow them just to deal with the exceptions. And the efficiency and the transparency that that brings is massive.
All right, so what are some of the common challenges that your clients are facing with the finance and accounting function? And obviously making it more efficient is one challenge that you have overcome, but what are some of the others that you look at?
Well, you know, lately there's been a real competition for labor. Finding people that are skilled in accounting, there's a bit of a shortage there. So companies are looking to do more with technology and use less bodies, but then also to give the work that they do have that work be more interesting and more challenging to their workforce to help retain them.
All right, so now you're here today at the market site for the Bloomberg CIO Exchange, and the panel that you are on is AI and automation. Recent developments in AI and improved technical talent will enable the cloud to drive more full-scale AI implementations. How will that happen?
Well, first off, cloud and AI are very closely linked. And when I say AI, what I really am thinking about is machine learning.
Right.
Because that's the area that really has the potential to solve business problems today.
That's like the predictive technology.
Machine learning, yes, is really a kind of a very advanced statistical algorithm that finds patterns in very large data sets. And so that has potential today to solve problems. Now, in that particular area, if you think about the many things that are being done that are very rote, okay, the way these models learn is they're trained on extremely large data sets. The cloud is where all the data sort of congregates. So you can't really have great machine learning if you just have one set of data residing on-prem in a company. So they're converging together in that by having things in the cloud, you have, by definition, extremely large data sets across thousands of companies, which allow the machine learning to be more efficient. So those are really converging, all right, those tools, those sort of capabilities.
All right, so now, speaking of talent, what is your best advice for young people looking to get into STEM positions, particularly cloud computing?
Well, obviously, you know, if you've got your degree in these areas, that's a big help. But a lot of colleges don't necessarily teach it in a way that's particularly appealing to women. Blackline, for example, runs an intern program that specifically looks for diverse candidates without a background in technology, but really just a desire and an aptitude, a desire to learn. And so I would look for internships. I would look for sort of quick start training programs. I would look for companies that are encouraging of diverse candidates and are willing to take a chance.
That's a really interesting model, the way your internship program works. All right, to wrap up here, what does the future of cloud look like? Are we just scratching the surface with this relatively newer technology?
I believe we are, but again, it's like any particular area of technology, there's big shifts that happen, right?
And they happen quickly.
And they do have, well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they seem quick. You know, it's like an overnight sensation who's been working at it for 20 years, right?
Right.
So being in it, we do see that there is potential to substantially reduce IT costs by utilizing cloud. All right, there is potential for really putting data together in a way that allows you to detect things like fraud and really move some of these other areas forward, or just have the transparency to be able to see where the business is going in a way that wasn't possible before. So I do think that it's going to completely shift how business happens. I do think there will still be a need for IT to coordinate it. There's still a lot of collaboration that has to happen. There's still, you know, I just spoke with the CIO of Dropbox. She mentioned that she, in her company, has more than 1,000 different applications to manage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's actually a small number compared to many companies that are quite large. So it's still a very complicated landscape, and that still needs to be sorted out.
All right, Therese, thanks so much for joining us at
Thank
MarketSite.
you.
And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ.